Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be flipping the super dirty MCM dresser. I just happened to be scrolling through a free stuff listing on Facebook Marketplace and saw this dresser in one of the photos. The person said it had been left over from a previous tenant in the back of his barn. I ran over there as fast as I could to inspect it, and sure enough, it really was vintage, and I got it for free, which is crazy. I started by removing all of the random contents. The guy really did not want me to leave any of it with him, so I had to take it all. I definitely should have been wearing gloves for this part. Next up is cleaning. I thought maybe I could just vacuum most of this dust and grime away, but as you can tell, that didn't work. I went back with a wet rag and soap and probably scrubbed this dresser for a solid hour. It was disgusting. Unfortunately, the original legs to this piece were nowhere to be found, so I'll be replacing them. One of the boards was missing, so I got a replacement board cut to size from Lowe's, and I'm just nailing it in the same spot the original one was placed. These are the legs I chose for this piece. They're actually the same legs that I used in the hutch makeover I did a few videos back. I got them off Amazon and I'll have them linked down below. I wasn't sure if the top was going to be salvageable, but it turns out it was. The wood grain was absolutely stunning, and I was so excited when I realized I could keep it. I started off with a 120 grit, and then I went all the way up to a 220. Because it was a veneer, I didn't want to go any lower than a 120. There are a few watermarks in this corner, but I wasn't too worried about it because I planned on doing a paint wash instead of a stain, so it would conceal any discoloration. I sanded the middle 3 drawers the same way I sanded the top. I started with a 120 grit and moved all the way up to a 220. It was really easy to remove this finish, and the veneer was pretty thick on the drawers, so I wasn't as worried about blowing through it. My husband then came out to help and scuff sanded the other 6 drawers for me. I then gave the rest of the body a scuff sand with my Surf Prep sander. After realizing I could save the top and keep it wood, I decided to remove the original leg finish and paint wash the legs to match. I used citrus dip and wrapped all 4 legs in plastic wrap to make sure it didn't dry out. I left this on for about an hour and removed it with a putty knife, mineral spirits, and some fine steel wool. I know this putty knife is pretty big and kind of looks funny, but it's all I had. I let them dry overnight, and then I went back the next morning with my Surf Prep sander to get the rest of the finish off. There were some bare wood spots on the body of the dresser, so I used my shellac-based primer to prevent any bleed through. I'll be using Card Catalog today by Melange Paints for this dresser. It's the most beautiful sage green color I've ever found. I painted in the direction of the wood grain, making sure to keep my brush strokes long and even. I ended up doing a total of 2 coats of paint on this dresser. This paint has such great coverage and it dries so smoothly you can hardly tell it was painted. I primed all 6 drawers and then I scuff sanded with a 220 grit to make them nice and smooth. first soaked it with water to act as my pre-stain, or really just to prevent the wood from soaking my paint wash up too fast before I can wipe it back. Then I brushed on a 50-50 mixture of beige paint and water. I then wiped it off and repeated the process several times. The same process with the middle 3 drawers. I soaked it with water, brushed on the paint wash, and then wiped it off. Alright, let's take one final look back at the before. It was in really bad condition and needed a lot of love. It was really gross and dirty, but here it is now. I can't believe this is the same dresser. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe below. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next time.